Did they teach you about Black history in the United States? Like, are your parents Black American?
Yeah, my mom is Black. My father is Black.
No, I'm asking, were they born in the United States?
No, because I wasn't born there.
Oh, so you guys are all from Angola?
Yes. But again, I like I told you earlier, right? Trying to protest.
Sources are not, you're not able to cite your sources.
In
Please
New York.
go sit down.
Yeah, that's the truth.
It's not the truth. It's not the truth. It's not the truth. Nothing you say is actually the truth. Nothing. You're not even American. You're not even a Black American. As the daughter of an immigrant, it is imperative that Black people from other places understand the disparate difference that they exist from Black people in the United States. It is not the same. Period. And ultimately, the best effort that we can do as a diaspora is to lead in understanding, not in judgment. So when I am talking to somebody from Sudan, from the Congo, from Angola, I am listening to understand their experience, not to undermine it. And I refuse to allow anybody from Grenada, from Angola, from any other place to come and try to undermine the experience of Black Americans.
Do you think, like, Africans living in, America, right? Do you think they have the right to talk about African Americans or whatever situation that all of us are facing in America?
That all of us are facing in America?
Yeah, or maybe do you think, like, based on the video, right, do you think Africans have the right to talk about the issues Blacks are facing in America?
Okay. One question though: Are they from Africa and migrated to America, or they were born here, like everything?
Yeah, I would say like both, because even if you were born here, you're still African, right?
I say
your roots.
If you're from Africa and you migrate to America, you do not have the right to speak on anything and how we act and receive things in America. No.
Why?
Because we grew up in two different spaces. Y'all grew up in a place where it's predominantly us, African men, African women, all that. We grew up in a place where it's diverse. So they're Africans, the way we react to things, like Africans, most Africans will touch a Mexican or a white person's hair and, just be curious. We don't do that here because we know that back then our people that was done to us. White people, they basically felt like it was their rights to touch on us and just do things and examine us, and we were going to be great slaves, you may say. Africans don't think like that because guess what? They think from a space of where everybody loves each other, we're innocent, it's pure. But America, we have to demand our respect. We have to demand it from people who are not even our people. So Africans that are migrating to America, no. You guys question it, not saying specifically you, but from experience, they question Africans. They question us. Like, why do you react like this? Why do you say this? Why do you do this? Because we are grown up and taught different ways. We are taught to defend, rebel when needed and when necessary. Africans don't really rebel unless, I want to say you guys are very peaceful. You guys are very no harm, no nothing, because I feel like you guys, yes, your ancestors may have gone through it, but I don't think you guys specifically go through the hate and the division that we go through while we're here. If in Africa, it's different. Now, if you're African American, African parents, but you're African and you're born here in America, speak on it because you know what's going on. You see what's going on. You can relate. Not saying that Africans can't completely relate, but majority of the things that we go through in America, they're just new. You guys are new here. Learn it. Now, it's going to be a little difficult. I guess you guys could learn America as well. You can be here for 12, 15, 20 years. But still, it's like, I still say, don't speak on it unless you really, really, really have seen and been through the things that we've been through here in America. So, no.
So let's say somebody who has lived in America for like 10 years, 15 years, I would say to an extent the person has experienced a lot.
Yeah.
So in situations like that, like imagine, right, when all of us are standing, they see us as one, right? I don't really like using the word Black. Anywhere that you ask me, I'm African, right? Because I feel like it's just different shades of dark, right? But I don't see myself. So I know like our brothers here, mostly prefer calling themselves Black. Yeah, and I understand how it started, way back, and really with it, but it's just different shades of dark, whatever. But yet again, we say African. So when you hear somebody saying like I'm African, you don't see Africans saying I'm Black mostly. It's like they say that I'm African, then they will just define it further and say I'm Nigerian or Ghanaian or from Senegal, or like, you get it. But at the end of the day, if I've been here for like 10, 15 years, I think I have a right to pass certain, especially if I'm living, let's just say I live in like, predominantly, for, sake of conversation in your areas and, black areas, whatever. I see the issues that like, happens or whatever that happens every day for the past 10, 15 years. So if I'm passing a comment, like sometimes I've imagine 15 years, right? Yeah. There are teenagers that are around that age that I've seen them, grow up in that, like, in that community or whatever. So I have the right to say, okay, I saw him growing up, and at some point, he started, gang banging or doing whatever. Yeah. So if I'm passing a comment, I know what I'm saying. I wouldn't say like, I understand the system plays a part, but I'm just saying I see certain things that it affects me too. But if they say I can't pass a comment, I'm not saying somebody who has been here for like a year or two. Yeah. I'm just saying like,
Yeah, okay.
You get what I'm trying to say?
For someone, who's been here for, a great amount of years, for sure, I would say yes. You can speak on the way the American lifestyle is, whether it's with African Americans or Black Americans. Yes, you can speak on it because you've experienced it. You have knowledge on it. You have emotions from this. Anyone looking outside, looking in, just because we're the same color and we same body shapes, that doesn't go far enough for me because that's just the image. That's the exterior. I need something that's more interior because it's unequivocally okay for someone who has nothing to do with American ways. You can't speak on us, but if you've been here for some time, for sure, you're more than welcome to educate the world on what you've been seeing and doing.
Yeah, to piggyback to what you just said earlier about like Africans are kind of like, nice and whatever. Yes. I think, as
certain ones. Okay. You guys are different countries out there.
It's where we're from and culture, tradition plays a part. But yet again, like we don't really stay in, like, imagine you're coming from, a country whereby the government, shitty, they don't support whatever. We don't stay in victimhood. Yeah. That is us, mostly. So we try most of the time we try to find our ways through stuff, to figure it on your own. Because when you stay in that victim mode, it's like now you're waiting for the government to come do something for you, and you have to feed your family. You have to do stuff. You got responsibility. So when it gets to that point, we don't just stay. We might criticize the government, but we still have to find our way. Yeah, you get it. So I think that's just the difference. So I'm not saying like I see the struggles here, the redlining, when you go apply for loan, like it's there, it's shadowed a little bit. Yeah. It's shadowed a little bit, but it's still, happening. But I'm just saying, imagine if all Africans, which we clearly see, if we are, we keep going through that cycle about like victimhood, about like, slavery and what they did to us, we would never move forward as Africans. Yeah. I'm saying in Africa. Okay. Yeah. So like when we make that comparison here, don't get me wrong, still they play like we still have that colonial whatever thing happening in Africa, so it's the same thing like systematic in America here too, right? So I'm just saying, if we are passing the comment, just like how you said, Africans are nice, I think we almost share the same thing, but it's not about being nice, it's about like, okay, I found myself here. Yeah. I started from zero. Yeah. No family, nothing from here, right? Yeah. So how, like, imagine, right, you that have family here, you have, I'm not saying it's easy for you, right? But I came from somewhere, from zero, climbing up. I'm not there yet, but I'm still climbing. So it shouldn't be a hate, like as if, they because when I got, okay, you know what? They say when you get here, they give you free money. I migrated here.
I don't know.
No, that's some people say, and, they give you 700 credit score, whatever. To me personally, I've not experienced that. Nobody gave me money. Yeah. I have to start from the scratch. Dream. Yeah, I have to start from the scratch. So that narrative, that propaganda, whatever that they say outside, I don't think is true because from my personal experience, nobody gave me money. Okay,
not even the ones who live here. I don't think majority of us has received money too, unless you gotta, be very poor. They want us at our lowest, which makes sense because you want to give to the lowest so they can get a head start, a little jump, push. I want to say, but
it almost boils down to like trying to divide us.
Yes, it's like, it? but we got to be honest. There is a little and sometimes division is needed so you can understand two different perspectives. Not saying that it's supposed to be like that forever, but division comes to, it's a word, and I have a brain fart. Division always leads to, it's a word. I want to say combining. I don't think that's the terminology I want to use, but
unity or what?
Unity. Division always will lead into unity some way, somehow, depending on the situation. Because if you get unity, it starts where between divisions. So, me personally, I just think it's not a good thing to have all the time, majority of the time, but it's definitely a necessity when it comes to certain things, because you don't want to understand things from a one-sided point of view within majority of whether it's a food debate, a culture debate, housing debate, financial debate. It needs to be some type of division to understand, to get to unity. It doesn't have to, but it's definitely a way that most people work with. Like Africans, how we have our talk about Africans and Americans. Most people say, no, you should get it. Like Americans, we can't speak on how life is out there in Africa. We will never really probably understand it the way you guys do. Mm-hmm. Because we reached a certain like state in America financially, how to handle our lively stability. We grew into a different way on how to handle our own instead of the way you guys did. You guys grew up in more, I would say, more struggle. Not all Africans, but majority of Africans. Oh yeah,
I've heard that word before.
More struggle. I say struggle meaning yes, because like Togo, man, I have friends who spoken about Togo government. Terrible, and they got it out the mud on their own struggle, leaving homes to get it out the mud by themselves and making a name for themselves, and not really just taking that risk to just start over. I feel like Americans, we really don't do that risk to start over and get it by our own until we're 18 or until we kicked out the house or until the government says this is the age where you can get kicked out. This is when you're going. Yeah.
So based on that comment, right? Mm-hmm. Who got it the easiest?
Americans.
Okay. But you see, I'm not saying they don't have the right to complain, but I think they overly complain. So you see, Africans, right? So imagine in Africa, right? We don't
complain about what they have, like what they're in. They can't complain about something that they're not in.
No, I get it. But I'm just saying, right? So I think I have to do justice to this before we move to the next, video. Africans, right? Mm-hmm. When you look at mostly some of the shitty jobs in America, Africans are doing it. Like if I say Africans, I'm not thinking like Africans from Africa. So when I say when we come, like if I say
any jobs that Africans really do, stereotypically, I don't want to think it.
Okay,
but cooking,
so
I don't want to say that.
There are a lot of people that do labor jobs, utility, working in clothing store. They be paying them shitty.
Familiar with that one.
Yeah, driving taxi, driving Uber. I'm not even that is not even shitty, but I'm just saying people do the hard labor, like they put in more hours, like 12 hours, 15 hours to be able to make here, and they got so it's like even with the Africans that migrated and they still have to go to school. True, some of them have to jog and they have family back at home to support. I've seen a friend of mine, she's Nigerian. When she first got here, immigration status was kind of shitty. I saw the hustle, man. Mm-hmm. She started, how she figured it out, I don't know, but yet again, she was able to get her citizenship, and she still went to school.
That's beautiful.
She's a nurse right now.
The hard work is different from America
and the struggle, she used to call me complaining about, what she's going through and, how, and she didn't even have papers then. Imagine the faces that she went in. Sometimes she could meet even brothers whereby maybe they say they'll help her, but they just want to, get into her pants or whatever. So it's the struggle is there. Sometimes Africans don't talk about it, but we don't get it easy or you don't find it easy. We go through hell to get where we are. So a lot of times people see what is on the outside. Like, you've made it. Oh, you got here, they gave you a check, they whatever. We don't really talk about what we go through in America too, but we really go through struggle, especially when it starts from zero.
Yes. I had one person that was very close to me who's still going through that exact situation without the schooling. That person works hard to the core, like working 2-3 jobs, and then has no sleep, only has 4 to 6 hours of sleep. It's just, Africans are very strong. I want to say, leave it at that part, because, child, I complain, but
it's not strong. You can equally do it.
And then Gaza, even people in that's not in America. It's like these wars and these things is just crazy because we can't speak on anything, and I feel like we complain a little, too much. Now that I'm saying it out loud, because
everybody has the right to complain at the end of the day, but I feel like at some point the struggle is real for everybody in Africa, in America, whatever. But I think sometimes we can't complain too much. You just have to get up and do something. Mm-hmm. You get it? So what I've noticed personally, if you want my personal opinion,
Yeah.
Personally, I've seen some of our, if I say I'm using black because most of our blacks, they prefer using black. Let's just say the black Americans here.
I'm not offended.
Our brothers, okay. So because I prefer saying Africans and African Americans actually.
They get it though.
Yeah.
Go on.
So I see some people that put in the work. I have a personal friend I met him at GYC. He went through the struggle. He's still in there, but dude is making moves.
Yeah.
It got to a point he nearly gave up. So it's not easy for some of our, brothers here too, right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, what I've noticed is some people just want the easy life. They just want to get the government checks or whatever, and they don't want to put in no work.
Yeah.
And we don't, I'm not saying some Africans do get that check depending on their situation, but I'm just saying if you want to if you are determined to elevate or maybe level up to a certain extent, because you can't just say you're making $30,000 every year and you're comfortable. Mm-hmm. When the kids come in and the family, whatever, the money's not enough.
Yeah, you can't even get the life that you really want. I want kids right now. I ain't gonna lie. $50,000 a year, cool for one person, but with kids, it's barely cool for one person. Let's just be real.
That's if you want to be taking trips.
No,
if you want to be
real.
taking trips. Yeah, so I see it's but I feel like, at the end of the day, some of our, both, brothers and sisters, not to use the victim mode or whatever, that thing is there, but yet again, some of them just, I would say comfortable.
Me, very so me. I want to say a 2-second story. I had African friend who literally worked at these little restaurant jobs back to back to back to back just to make their money. Here, me, currently jobless, but still, we have. But anyway,
you'll get
and
it.
Yes, and I feel like I got it today. I went to an interview, but anyway,
beautiful.
I just feel like that person. I'm not willing. I don't want to work at no Chipotle. I don't want to work at no little restaurant. I'm sorry, because I feel like I've been so used to a certain point of making money, the amount that I've never really made before. Going down to a payment it didn't having a car or a house, going down to a payment that's, less than what I've been getting used to. It just sucks. But that person, the African, said, I don't care what it is I'm making. I need a job. I need a job. I don't care if it's $10, $15, $12. It's just.
You need, because you got bills. You have to pay your, rent, your mortgage or whatever.
Child, yes. The American life is not beautiful the way it seems to be, especially Chicago. But.
Oh yeah, so that we are saying that to our Africans in Africa. They think it's all rosy, but it's not like that.
It ain't.
Even for the Africans,
especially Chicago and New York and Cali.
It's hard.
It's beyond hard. It's like we getting cheated. So trying to fight for justice is not easy, especially with the jobs you want.
Running a business and dealing with black people. You can be selling the cure to cancer. And there can be 50 black people in the line that have been diagnosed with cancer and need what you're selling. But if they look at you and you nice looking, you well kept, you live nice, you drive nice things, you know what they're going to say? I'd rather die before I spend my money with him or her to sponsor their lifestyles. That's how small y'all mindsets is, right? And it bothers me. And that's one reason why I don't place myself in a bubble to only service us. I service them all. And one thing I can tell you, I don't give a damn what nobody else say. One of my Caucasian clients come in and I tell her she's going to be with me for 3 months. And that program costs $3,200. The credit card is being swiped. The process begins. I tell my sisters that. Y'all want to break things down this way? You want to do this? You want to do it that way? No, the fuck you can't. Not here. That's the reason why businesses have websites. That's a part of systems. You take your ass there, you look at the prices there, and you tell yourself, hey, I don't think I can afford this. And you keep your ass away. Not come in and try to figure out a way to become a problem. Try to figure out a way to strip people of value, your sisters and brothers who are of value, of their value.
So since this is coming from a sister, I'll let you start. So okay. You understand where she's coming from, right? So is she right?
Like 2 or 3 different point of views. Example she was using. That is true. That used to be me, and they kind of had that situation previously. But sometimes we're right when situations like that. Like I had a female who was selling these dream, like if I can model, she has the platform. She's there with known folks. But if I want to model and I want to do all of this and I'm doing this to fund your life, but guess what? You're giving me the good part. And whole time it was some bull crap going on. It was not what it was turned out to be. It was given, you're funding my life, but I'm also stealing for you because certain prices are not always, are not always, what's the word? It's a word. It's not necessary. Some prices are not necessary for certain things. And I thought like that, I'm not going to fund this girl. Like, she looked good. Why she need my money? But at the same time, it's like I was trying to get an opportunity. But with that also being said, I've been kind of like lost that mentality. But that used to be my mentality. But I ain't going to lie, even when it comes to homelessness, it kind of sucks because if I see a homeless person that's looking like complete crap and you look like you're using my money on drugs and you're white, okay, I got to refer back. I want to say this. I didn't change my mindset like that completely. Sadly, when it comes to Caucasians, I sometimes think, how did you end up like this? When it's a black person that's homeless, I mean, I used to have that mentality. But now it's like, no, I'm not going to give you money. If you're black or white, I am not going to give you money if you're homeless. So, no, I don't know what you're going to do with that money. But if you are homeless in general, you're hungry, I will ask you for, to serve you as food. But I did used to have that mentality. You look good. Why would I give you my money to serve your life? Like, but then again,
even if they're giving you a service.
I used to think like that. Yes. Even if they was giving me the service, it was like, no, I need to go to someone who's actually like, probably like they doing the same thing as you, but they're down here with it and they trying to get to where you are. So it used to be like that for me, if that makes sense. Like, you look good, you got it. You got the Benz, you got the Tesla. This person has this Toyota and they're doing the same thing, but you want my money and you got better opportunities, better and this person has barely any of that. I used to think of it like, why would I give you my money and all this and that? Just no. Same for this person. But now my mentality is, you look like you're less fortunate. You're trying to get to where they are, so I'm going to go and spend my money to this person.
Okay, so there's two sides to that, right? Mm-hmm. Even being like an African, from an African point of view, right? Most of the times, I don't think we if somebody's doing better, it's like we don't want to see the person, doing better than you. Mind you, like from an African perspective, right?
Americans do that too.
They do that too, right?
Yes.
So business, right? I'm more of like supporting your own, but sometimes what I've noticed, I don't mind supporting, but I think sometimes they take advantage.
That's the word. That's what I was trying to say. The young lady earlier, she was, my example, she took advantage of us and started charging us things that wasn't necessary, one. And two, it turns out she doesn't have her business all together. It was given, I want money. I'm money hungry. Here's what's going on. You have people come to you, but you're not all the way in chronological order with anything you have going on. Is you have the base, but you just going off randomly. I need a person with structure. That's the word. She had no structure. And then they just use you for your money. They accept your money with no structure. And it's like, no.
So what she's saying, I agree with her, to a certain extent. But
to a certain extent.
It goes both ways, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you support your own, and sometimes they want to take advantage of you, right?
That's true.
I'm not like, I don't mind supporting somebody's life. I wouldn't say supporting, right? Because I've experienced it personally, but I can't say it on the, when you have a business or you have something going on for you, already before you got to me, I was operating this business. This business is ongoing.
Yeah.
So when they start coming to you probably for a month or 2 or 3, they think like their money is the one financing you.
Yeah.
Mind you, I appreciate your business, but it's not your money financing me, because if you don't come, I'll still survive.
Yeah.
God willing, though, I'll still survive. So that is where I think we get it twisted a little bit. So she's right. When I go to somebody, like if I want to negotiate prices, I do it everywhere. I don't care. Be it Caucasian, be it Mexican, be it African, black, whatever, I do it. I don't, whatever. But if you're on the website, the price is already fixed there. But if I can negotiate, I'm that type of person.
Yeah.
No matter what. Even if like, let's just say corporate whatever, and they say go negotiate whatever, like, I will try to get the best deal.
That's true.
I'm not going to pay because I have the money.
And that's the thing. I can admit, I'm still in the mindset where it's like, it is hard to trust anyone that doesn't look like me. It is so hard. It's harder. It's
No,
like,
is it hard to trust anyone that looks like you or not like you?
it's hard to trust people that look like me, but it's harder to trust people that does not look like me.
Oh, okay.
And it's crazy because majority of white people will literally be like, I'm just trying to help and give you the benefits from a pure heart. But people like me, we still have the mindset of, what's the gimmick? What's behind this? And then when it comes to my black people, it's like, oh, I feel more comfortable starting with you. But then again, my mind is also in the same space. Like, what's the gimmick behind this? But it's going to be more like that with the white person. You get me to the next step, I'm going to think, what's going on after this? You get to the next step, I'm going to think, what's the gimmick? Because if you making more money, you getting bigger. You say if I'm right here at 0, you got me at 1,000. You put me onto something that give me $1,000. Then you put me onto the next stop and it's giving me 10,000. I'm almost up there with you. So what's the gimmick? Do you take the money as like elder? But when I'm with my black people, I feel like you start me off at 0. Okay, we both trying to get to where we going. I'm not gonna really guess what's the gimmick after the next step or the next step. I'm gonna probably be comfortable with it because it's my people putting me on, getting me up there. But white people, I feel like it's going to be something somewhere.
Something, okay.
Somewhere.
I've helped, my brothers here, African Americans, where sometimes I feel like when you help, they look down. So imagine, right, when you come to me,
African Americans or Africans or just
African Americans. I'll say it goes both ways, but this
I ain't had that with Africans.
No, this situation was with an African American, like Black American, right? You helped them. So imagine the outside market, like the price is like maybe $300, but per whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I'm giving you like 100, and that is an overcut, right? But they would take it and they wouldn't, and you're giving them equals professional service. Let me put it that way. But they would look down upon because you're charging them less, and that is you try. When you're starting a business, it's usually you want to.
They get comfortable with that.
Yeah, I don't want to to me, I don't want to overstep. Like I'm like, let me see the process. To me, I believe in process, right? And especially when I feel like I'm supporting the community or whatever, I bring my prices down so that you'll be able to build that clientele. Yeah. Some people, I'm not saying all, don't appreciate it, so they will take it. But they will go pay equal or even overpriced somewhere and they think like you are giving them shitty service, but you're not giving them shitty service. You're actually giving them professional service, but on the low.
Yeah, and then most people don't think like that though. They just, it's a few ways to see that, but then again, that's like I agree because I've seen it happen to a few friends of mine. They sit here and they're working for a person and they receive a great amount, and then they just want to. I had this one example. I just had a brain fart. I just had it. I need detail to explain it so you can understand the scenario. But I get where you're coming from, though.
Yeah. So business wise, it's good to support your own. If I like to support a community, let me put it that way.
Yeah.
But if I'm moving into a business, I'm serving everybody.
Yeah.
That is me. But if I say community, the reason why I'm saying because it's like, there are certain low income neighborhoods, like you just want to support your community. You just, this goes deeper.
Yeah, because it's like, that's the thing. See, me personally, I would love to support my community, but my people ain't all the way grateful. I don't know, because it's just like, I just don't want to keep going back to America and, Africa. But America is just, it's getting worse. Like, if I can say it, it's getting worse. Money is taking over everything. So everybody feel like they're being scammed some way, somehow. Because the government, our president, now everything we know now, currently, the government's taking it worse. The treatment that we receive, worse. The rules are coming to the more or less fortunate. So me personally, I'll try to do stuff that's for my community as well, too. I try my best, too. But then again, it's like, our community don't know what to do with half the shit that's being received. Like, whether it's money, food services, living services. We don't, business, whether it's business opportunities. I want to say as African Americans need to do a better job with the help that we receive. Be grateful. I feel like Americans and African Americans specifically are very ungrateful. And we just want to look the part, but not really go through the hard work to receive it. So. And
lastly, right, to add up to what she's saying, when you go to a business that maybe you don't even know the owner, but let's just say since it's in downtown, probably you might assume like it belongs to a Caucasian. right? So there's a different kind of like aura, like, you know, when we, like, our people go, you know, to patronize them, they tend to, like, you know, they comport, or like they tend to, like, be in their best behavior, right? But whereby if they know it's like somebody like them, it's I'm not saying all, but most of the times it's like they want to cause a scene. Like, just like what she said, right? So that's why sometimes, right, some of my brothers, they will tell you that if you own a business, don't let your own people know that's your business. It's so sad. It's like that.
I was just about to say, like, that is sad.
It is sad.
Because it's just,
you have to hide.
Yes, and it's so much. Because I want to say everybody's greedy. Everybody's greedy. Everybody's jealous. It could be even your closest person, but that's life, sadly. Like racism, that's life. Jealousy, that's life. Ungratefulness, that's majority of life. So sadly, that's part of life. But you can be the person, you know, to promote the change, you know.
I'm not Jesus. I'm not Jesus. I'll try, but it's
sad that we gotta be like this. Because even if I get put on, like even jobs, where you get that job? Say if I'm getting paid $30 an hour right now, and you say if you a billionaire or a millionaire, it don't matter. And he offers me a job that's paying me $20K every 2 weeks or every week. Y'all be put me on. Y'all don't want to put nobody on because y'all are scared that they're going to either surpass you or meet you where you at, and y'all can relate, and you just want to be alone and just say, I started this type of energy from my community, my Chicago people. Selfishness, greedy, and ungratefulness, it's all there. And it's like,
it's in the African community too. Same thing. So it's like, I'm not saying, like, you know, we don't have like words, whatever in the other races, whatever. But you know, when it comes to people that look like us, it's like that. And imagine, right, when you're in a company, I'm talking about my amigos, right? They always want to bring their own people. They might even try to sometimes, you know, set you up. Yeah, like, no, we don't like to bring up like our people, and just like how you said, put me on. Sometimes they can, but they don't want to. It's like, if you're scared of competition, then why like you should be a leader.
I like that. Yes,
you get it. So they always trying to put their people on. So you could go to like an agency or whatever. I'm telling you, sometimes they want to even, like, you know, let people that look like us out of that so that they could bring their own people. And they're never scared of competition. They always want to support, like they want to see their own people progress. But whereas when it comes to us, it's like we have that, like, you know, we want to say I did it and I'm the one making more money. Mind you, you're not even feeding me. But if I know you're struggling, or I know, like, you know, this job you could do well in it, or maybe they're looking for this position or whatever, they will never tell you. Chances are, like I'm just saying, sometimes you might be lucky. They are genuine people that they might probably want to put you on, but overly your people, I'm being honest, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not saying we are the worst, but I'm just saying these are things that we've experienced. Sometimes even in your own workspace, if they know, I don't want to put this out there because of whatever that's going on out there, but they will try to, like, even set you up, literally, so that they're gonna lay you out.
Can I say a curse word? You fucking assholes. Because it's crazy. Because, boy, if you were Chicago, and you already know what I'm gonna say, we say, yo, put me on to this. We a comment on Facebook. First thing they say, inbox me. Why can't you just put it in the comment for every person to just see and get that information?
The price, right?
Whether it's the pricing of a car, whether it's the pricing of a crib, whether it's the anything. We say, yo, where you get that from? Put me on. First thing they say, inbox me. You see 30 comments saying this, and you're going to pick your specific close friends. You're going to pick your specific friend, cousins, and for them. Just put it out there so the whole, so the whole world can see. Yeah. The whole world can know. Yeah. It's the majority of your people in these comments. Stop being selfish and greedy. But
it happens in Africa. So you see, we have a lot of things. Not only, like, you know, we look the same, but we have a lot in common because it happens in Africa too. We are the same people. Let me put it that way. People open business. You never see the pricing on their page, but they will tell you, inbox me. What are you hiding? Like, come on. So imagine if it's just this, you know, like a jacket or a coat that they're selling. I know I have an idea of how the price range is going to be like. Yeah, but what are you hiding from? Because, you know, when they slide in the DM, they're going to overprice you.
Okay, like, come on.
Mostly that's what they do.
I ain't really think of it like that.
Then what are you hiding? So imagine if it's H&M or whatever. When you go on their website, you see the price.
Yeah.
Even if they have an IG page, some of them be putting the price down
It's
there.
just like restaurants. They don't put their prices on the websites all the time, but you get to the restaurant, it's on the menu, if that makes sense. Like, I'm a That's how one of my favorite restaurants, a few of them I've seen, they show all the food and they show what comes with it, but they won't show the pricing of it. They'll just show the pictures and everything. But when you get to the restaurant, and when now we see these prices, this food is $50 for a whole entree. For one person.
Then in that case, you just get get you some salad. And just keep it pushing.
Perhaps a salad, perhaps
Yeah,
not.
get you some salad and maybe wine or whatever, and just keep it pushing.
Perhaps not. 2 shots tequila, please. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what we have for today. But yet again, support your own. I'm big on supporting African, not African business, but like our own people's business. But let's just do right by each other. When you look at, we are making these Asians money in the in the black community, right?
Literally.
We are making them money. So I'm yet to see somebody who looks like me that owns a beauty supply. There might be few.
I'm confused
but
on why nobody do that.
no,
though.
I think usually when they go into it, they run out of business. Most of the suppliers too are like Asians, right? So, but they come into the community, we give them our money.
Instead of flying out to have fun, fly out for business. I have a girl, shout out to Johnny. She flew out to India and started her hair business. Go out to y'all gonna spend all this money on these beauty supplies. Go out, get the infrastructure, and look at these manufacturers and look at everything, get your knowledge on it. So when you come back to Chicago, you can start it. Oh gosh, you just got me mad. Because
right?
what we doing?
I know, right?
I want to apologize
To who?
my black men. Well, men in general, because you didn't say whether it was a black man who in the woods or the bear. But men, I apologize if I made y'all feel offensive thinking that y'all just think with your hormones all the time. Sometimes you guys do. If you guys understand, you understand. I don't want you to think that, she hates men. Like you said, I don't hate y'all. Love y'all. We need y'all. But sorry if I offended some men out there. But other than that, let's just try to work harder as black men and black women. Let's just try to work harder. You complain about food stamps. You complain about the government. What can you do for your community and government? Half of y'all are not out there. Y'all complain when the Mexicans had their celebrations. When it's our holidays, let's celebrate, not just for a debate or for in your face. Let's celebrate because we actually have the knowledge behind our people. Let's do more for our community besides drugs, besides designer, besides fashion. Let's do things that can actually build our brains. So that's really it.
And again, to me, when you ask me, do I prefer a woman or a bear?
Let me ask you that. Do you prefer a woman or a bear? And I swear, if you say a bear, I will.
No woman, women every day. Women every day. But this is what we have for you today. Catch you next week. Thanks for watching. And if you're new to the channel, can you please subscribe, like, and push the channel. Thank you.